Good evening and welcome to the Halifax Center for tonight's MWBA Nova Scotia Divisional Playoff game between the Halifax Hornets and your Halifax Thunder. We would like to recognize that we're in Mi'kmaq, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. This territory is covered by the treaties of peace and friendship. These treaties established the rules for what was to be an ongoing relationship between nations. Tonight's game day partners are St. Mary's University Athletics and Glebe Source for Sports. The officials for tonight's game are Lindsay Walsh, Brent Stalker, and Shauna Poirier. And today's starting lineups are brought to you by Under Armour. Introducing first the starting five for the visiting Halifax Hornets. A 5'3" guard from Beachville, Nova Scotia, number 6, Neve O'Connell. A 5'11" guard from Halifax, Nova Scotia, number 8, Melina Collins. A 5'9" guard from Torbay, Newfoundland, number 11, Amanda Piercy. A 6' forward from Bedford, Nova Scotia, number 23, Chloe Oxford. And a 6'1" forward from Toronto, Ontario, number 24, Sandy Manieri. The head coach of the Hornets is Carla Yepes. Associate coaches are Maya Timmons, Sophia Widmeyer, Janice King, and Tanya McKay. From Brantford, Ontario, number 7, Alina McMillan. And a guard, 6 foot from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, number 14, Sammy Russell. The Halifax Thunder are coached by Alex Petropoulos. Associate coaches are Keith Bambino and Kevin Duffy. Enjoy the game, everyone.
And good evening, friends, and welcome to this another product of Maritime Women's Basketball Association, and it's playoff time, a Nova Scotia Divisional playoff round between the Halifax Hornets and the Halifax Thunder. Halifax Thunder are coming into this in the third seed, 7-3 overall record. Meanwhile, for the Halifax Hornets, they're sitting at 4-6. They lost their previous matchup as they did play the regular season champs, Lake City 56ers, as they are looking to try and beat the Thunder, who are currently the two-time defending league champs. And we start off early in the first quarter, down the post, turn around, and that's just off the rim, no good on the first try of the night from Elena Collins. They get her right back down the Thunder. The Thunder have a lot of talent in this roster, including Sammy Russell, who's got the ball in her hand just with a nice kick out to the top of the corner, just a little wide, and good box out from Oxner to get the rebound. And just a little bit off that time around, as we'll go the opposite end with it. Back with Russell. Russell out to Layer, and just missed. No shot has been able to go down early on in this first quarter, as there is a turnover and the Thunder go racing the other opposite way. McMillan trailing, sets up, splash. That's too easy for Alina McMillan. And for Alina McMillan, a veteran on this roster, for a lot of people who are tuning in, She didn't actually come into this league to play at first. She was over in the French League wrapping up, and she came back late. And we really haven't seen the full potential of this Halifax Thunder team, as they haven't had McMillan, who's such a veteran, a leader. I've had the pleasure of talking with her in the game that they were playing in the Dalhousie complex against the Miramichi Hurricanes. And during that time, the Hurricanes were on a 7-game winning streak. The Thunder just starting to get it rolling, and they come with a huge win over the Hurricanes, which I can imagine heading into this. And not the last game they played, it was the second last game they played the regular season, but I'm sure it built a lot of momentum heading down the stretch as we are in playoff territory. And no shot able to fall whatsoever for the Hornets. Has a good feed inside, and that just rolls out for Duffy. Missed the first 2 shots. Still haven't gotten it going yet. Hornets, good fake in the drive, foul. And it looks like they're going to get track Sophie Atkinson for the foul. So first team foul and first personal. And this will be the first opportunity for points for the free throw line for Melina Collins. Melina Collins, a 5'11" guard from Halifax, Nova Scotia. So far this year in 10 games played, has averaged 10 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, which has been very impressive. And there you have with Melina Collins, the first point for the Hornets. Russell, no hesitation, and that's a triple. That's 2 triples for the Thunder to open up the quarter. And that's the one part about Sammy Russell's game, such a dynamic scorer at multiple levels. And you can see it there on display. That is going to be something that the Hornets will have to be keying on all day. As Jasmine Parent takes a shot, does not go. And Jasmine Parent in this MWBA league is 6th all-time in league scoring, has 333 points. And there is a drive, and there's a few misses from the Thunder that you're seeing that could have resulted in easy points. As Lauer misses that one. Good pass out to Oxner. Oxner takes a mid-range jumper, just a little too much sauce on it, and it's still kept alive by the Thunder. Russell, 2 Hornets on her. Good swing out to the corner, and that's just off for Lauer again. But another second chance opportunity. There's a drive, and that's 2 for Atkinson. Sophie Atkinson, the 5'9" Yarmouth, Nova Scotia product, delivering for 2. And Collins just a little bit offline there. It's been all Thunder and almost took a shot. That could have been potentially a violation, but able to keep the foot down as there is, wow, what a difficult shot from Elina McMillan. Already in this quarter, 5 points, flawless from the field. And there's a block and a jump ball going to the Thunder. There's a couple substitutions for both the Thunder and the Hornets. So you have Bianca Helmig, who just checked in with the ball in her hands. Bianca Helmig, all the way from Germany, has played for Acadia the past few years. As Russell with a drive and just undershoots it. You know, we talked about Jasmine Parent earlier being not only the 6th all-time leading scorer in points, but also is #1 in games played with 39, has played for the Hornets the past 4 years. So since this league has been existed, Jasmine Parent has played as many games as she possibly can, and that ranks #1 all-time. And newly checked in, that is a huge shot from Nevaeh O'Connell from 3. That is the first shot they have made from the floor in this first quarter, and we're almost approaching halfway through the first. The only other point was from the free throw line from Collins as McMillan misses. A big-time shot to cut into this as they were down by 9, now only down by 6. Pass down low to the corner. Wide open look as Maddie Hiscock comes up short, but they get another chance at it. Go back down the post. Good feed inside and just missed by O'Connell. And there's another tie-up. Second one we've seen, jump ball, will stay with the Hornets. Should give a shout-out again to Maritime Athletic Profiles for producing this. Our camera crew, along with our producer, wouldn't be possible without their efforts. They've done a tremendous job of covering the MWBA this season. Also, I haven't had the chance to introduce myself. Connor McKinnon giving you play-by-play commentary. Very familiar setting for this crew as Collins with a mother miss inside the paint. And there's a chance for Russell. Russell's, again, we've talked about the multi-level scoring you'll see from Russell. And there's another look at it. And the ball goes out of bounds.
Checking in for the Hornets, number 13, Caitlin Power. And for the Thunder, number 13, Aaliyah Frazier.
Couple more substitutions and a very familiar name, Aaliyah Frazier. Of course, as you know, played for the Huskies this past year. Part of the back-to-back-to-back AUS champions. And a good fake. And the pull-up does not fall for Lily Francois. Saw McMillan before the game as she turns it over. Nice steal from Anna Parsons. And that is a difficult layup. Wow, Amanda Piercy. That had very little chance to go in, and she was able to go. Amanda Piercy this season has averaged 11.8 points per game, so is a very capable scorer. And there's just some beautiful passing offense there that led to a bucket for Alexa Evans. And a turnover. Bianca Helmig does have McMillan all the way up ahead, and no one there to get her, and that's two for McMillan. Already was 7 points in this first quarter and a 10-point lead for the Thunder. They are playing with a purpose, trying to go down to the Legacy Cup final. Two seconds left on the shot clock, and the good closeout defense from Leah Frazier and Caitlin Power. Didn't get up in time, shot clock violation. This defense has been suffocating for the Thunder. As Sophie Atkinson back into the game. And Chloe Oxner checking in for Maddie Hiscock. And Bianca Helmig, it's fouled.
Hornets foul, charge number 13, Caitlin Power. That's her first personal, first team foul.
And there is a chance as there is Bianca Helmig. Puts it in. That's the first bucket for Helmig, who's coming off the bench for the Thunder. Francois with the ball in her hands. Another foul. Stoppage in play. Approaching 2 minutes left to go.
That's her second personal, third team foul. Checking in for the Thunder, number 5, Haley Lawler.
There's a good find for Collins, looking for Oxner, and that goes. And out to the corner for a triple, trying to get the third one to go, does not for Saunders. They still get another chance. Frazier finds Helmig, had the runner earlier. Trying to get the jumper to fall, no, rebounded by Power. Helmig drives. Nice find from Saunders, trying to go the opposite way. That does not go for Saunders. And Power loses it. It's stolen away by Lauer. Lauer finds a trailing Evans, and Evans not known for the shooting outside, but does get hacked on the way up. And will go to the free throw line for two. As you'll see on the replay there, Evans, it was a good fake. It got the defender up, and when you get the defender up in the air, you're always, as a basketball player, your instinct is going to be to drive past, to go inside, try to get a layup. As this is actually the first time that we'll see the Thunder go to the free throw line for two. The only other previous time was the Hornets. So not a lot of foul trouble for both teams.
Alexis Evans hits both from the line. Kira Duffy checks in for the Thunder.
And Kalen Power with a rebound, puts it back up, just misses. Less than a minute to go. Here's Collins with it. Quick handoff into Francois. Francois waiting on the screen for Moxner. Waits for Collins. Collins down back in the post to Power. Power took a shot the last offensive possession, turn around, and just bounces off into the arms of Leah Frazier. And to the corner. That's good for Saunders. The third time is the charm. And that now is a 23-6 lead for the Thunder. Absolutely dominating in this first quarter. We'll see how the Hornets respond as Collins drives and misses. They've had some looks, but it has not gone their way. And takes it before the end of the first quarter. No good for Bianca Helmig. Well, this has been a heck of a start. You couldn't have drawn any better if you're head coach Alex Petropoulos. You're up 23-6 in a playoff game, and you're getting that much closer to playing in the final in this MWBA game. Before we let you go, we'll give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Again, the MWBA would like to thank league founding partner Royale. Royale is a proud supporter of the MWBA and proudly Atlantic Canadian. We'll step aside from this first quarter and bring it back with a second. You're watching this matchup between the Halifax Thunder and the Halifax Hornets in this playoff game. We'll be back with more coverage of this first half in just a moment. And welcome back here, folks. Start of the second quarter. Quick turnaround. Again, another dominating first quarter from the Halifax Thunder, up 23-6, and located here inside the Holmberg Center on the beautiful St. Mary's campus, which is in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And there we go. Kira Duffy for three, the first made three for for Duffy. It took a few shots before that, finally got that one to fall. And if we talk about what the Thunder have been doing, which has been great, as Piercy takes a shot and does not get to go, but rebounded for another time by Nieri. Gives it to Oxner, just misses. And great hustle from Nieri, but does touch the baseline out of bounds, so we'll stay with the Thunder. But as we finish up the thought, the problem so far for the Hornets is that they've had some open looks at the rim, but they haven't been able to get it to go. And sometimes it's all about, can you make some shots or can you do that? And sometimes it's just not your night, but there's still 3 quarters of basketball left as Bianca Helmig drives. And that is going to be a blocking foul on the Hornets. That will send Bianca Helmig to the free throw line. And one thing you could say about Bianca Helmig as a player, she is not afraid to put her body on the line. That's a charge against Bianca Helmig, but she is not afraid to put her body on the line. I watched her a few games ago. It seems that every other play she would be on the floor, maybe a little bit slow to get up, but she just has a tenacious heart and is going to go after every loose ball and fight for every possession. And there is a steal, and off to the races we go once more. Duffy trying to get her second made basket of the game as that ball goes trailing off.
Checking in for the Thunder, number 9, Hannah Smith, and number 7, Alina McMillan.
And it's unfortunate it goes off the hands of O'Connell. Into the hands, there's a pass up ahead to McMillan. As McMillan was trying to get a cutter to the basket, they couldn't keep the paws on it, and it goes the other way for the Hornets. We'll see if the Hornets can just chip out away, possession at a time. That has to be the mindset of your head coach, Carly Yepes, just trying to get positives, but the turnovers are not going to help. As Jewel Wolfit, oh, what a feed and find all the way to Duffy. We'll have to see the 20/20 vision on display there. Wow. And there's a shot from O'Connell. It doesn't go. O'Connell did make the first three-pointer made back in the first quarter. You may remember that was the first field goal to open up the first quarter for this Hornets team, as Helmig just a bit short. Oxner takes it, just short. Ball goes trailing out of bounds. And a substitution's in. Stops to give us time to read our sponsors. A National Health Solutions partner, Medivy, supports initiatives that improve the well-being of Canadians. That's our mission, and that's why we are proud to be a founder partner of the MWBA League. Best of luck this season. We're cheering for your success both on and off the court. Collins back with it, takes it, and that just rattles out for Collins, unfortunately. And there is a foul and a chance for free throws. Duffy has been very aggressive. And for Kira Duffy, native of Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, has played for the Thunder 10 games, 8 points per game in 23 minutes of action. 1.7 assists per game and 1.5 blocks per game, so has been effective on the defensive end, blocking and stuffing at the net. And splits free throws. 29-6 lead. Hornets have been held scoreless. And just to give some perspective on it, from the floor, the Thunder are shooting 44%. Meanwhile, for the Hornets, they're shooting 10.353% from the field. So just a little bit tough shooting as Piercy doesn't get that to go. In fact, the only shots that have been made from the floor have been Amanda Piercy and O'Connell. And the only other point that came to the free throw line was from Malia Collins. And that is a good block coming from Hannah Smith. And the pull up, not good from Piercy. As Alina McMillan has it in her hands, waits the screen. Drop pass, and there's a foul as Jemiah Thomas can't believe it. And looking for a little bit of communication as McMillan will go to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Gets the first one to go. Alina McMillan, a legend in the St. Mary's Huskies gym. This is a very familiar arena for her and has been playing very well, leading the Thunder in points with 9. If you look at almost every single program record, stat record for the St. Mary's University, you'll see Alina McMillan at least top 5 in most of those categories. The shot just goes too far for Parsons. And a timeout taken by the Hornets. And before we take this timeout, I want to say that Proline Stadium, Atlantic's Lottery Proline, is thrilled to partner with Maritime Women's Basketball Association for what is sure to be an incredible season. Atlantic Lottery's Proline Stadium is the only 100% legal sports betting destination in Atlantic Canada. They are very proud to support this incredible league and its athletes right here at home. And with the timeout taken, we'll step aside with that timeout. And again, you're watching playoff basketball in the MWBA between the Hornets and the Thunder. We'll be back with more action in just a second. And quick out of the timeout, inbound pass play by Sam Russell, just got it back after throwing it in. And there is a shot, a little bit wild and rushed from Emily Nunes-Sambien. Back to Piercy, guarded closely by McMillan. Waiting on the screen from Sasha Dabb. Dabb, in moments, has been a very effective player. As you can see, the fancy footwork there, just a little bit off target. And so far, no points at all currently for the Hornets. There's a rebound, but touched the baseline. Hornets have the ball. Piercy with the throw around pass. And just off, another chance. There's Dabb with it. Oh, what a finish from Dabb. The putback good. As Russell just offline there. Piercy takes a pull up. Can't get it to go. McMillan gets it right back, surveying the floor, trying to get it, but Power with the steal, and One thing about Caitlin Power, she is a very tall and lanky player. And what a coast-to-coast play as Power. And that was the first point that we've seen from the Hornets in this quarter. They scored 4 in back-to-back possessions thanks to Caitlin Power as well as Sasha Dabb. So some of the quote-unquote big men getting it done down low in the post for the Hornets. And that's a positive sign. You're obviously in a playoff game. You win this game, you move on to the next round. And so I'm sure there's a lot at stake for both teams. As yes, the winner of this one does move on to go to the Cup semifinal. And just to talk about some of the upcoming games too, we have this coming Saturday, the Port City Fog take on the Miramichi Hurricanes at 6 o'clock p.m. at Mount Vincent. And then you have as well the Moncton Mystics take on the Fredericton Freeze at Fredericton High School at 7 o'clock p.m. on Sunday. And we never got into this a little bit, but for the Halifax Hornets, they played on Thursday. I mentioned this maybe earlier, right at tip-off. So the Hornets have already played a game, so they're not as well rested heading against. They're playing the toughest opponent, arguably, in the conference. And it's going to be an interesting race for who is going to not only win the semifinals, but who's going to come up on top in this league. Should be a fun and exciting finish. Free throw line jumper does not go for Wolfett. And there's a shot as Jemiah Thomas gets on the board. So this has been a good close out as no points were scored halfway through the second quarter for the Thunder, and now they're starting to get this rolling. And then Sandy Saunders, after making a triple not too long ago, follows it up with a jumper inside the three-point line. Dabb out to Francois, and that's stolen away by Wolfett. And Dabb keeps it, finds Power, and Power gets that 2 to roll in. Power with 4 points. And nice find, and defense turning into offense as Parson gets it to go. And that's the fight you want to see. Now they have scored 10 points in the second quarter, all coming in the last 5 minutes of the second quarter. As Nunes Sabien off target. Caitlin Power trying to keep the offensive firepower, does get blocked on the way up with it. You'll see a few substitutions coming in. Lauer, Atkinson, and Evans coming in for the Thunder. Funny enough, both teams have scored 10 points in this quarter alone as Power goes up and gets fouled. So Power would go on the free throw line. Very aggressive. All the points coming in late in this first half of basketball. Still have halftime to go. And listen, if they can cut it within 13 points, 10 points even, this is going to make an interesting second half as Power gets the first one to go. The career for Caitlin Power in a SMU uniform, average a steal per game and close to a block a game. Fakes a shot, drives, Dabb with the foul, and Evans will go to the free throw line for the second time tonight.
Hornets foul, number 7, Sasha Dabb. That's her first personal, third team foul.
And Alexis Evans, 6'1" forward, all the way from Edmonton, Alberta, across the way. Play for the Mount Royal Cougars in the 24-25 season.
Evans makes both from the line.
Power down the post, trying to get more points and rush that shot a little bit. Helmig, nice find to Lauer. And Lauer misses. Fortunately for Lauer, has not got any shot to fall. And Francois loses the handle of it. No foul call, but Evans right there to pick it up and finish. 20-point lead. And a timeout taken here. And before we close out timeout, we'll say Support for Sport is proud to be a team partner of the Halifax Hornets. Since 2006, Support for Sport has raised over $50 million to help Nova Scotians get in the game. For more information, please visit supportforsport.ca. We'll be back with more coverage after this timeout. Actually, we might only be a 30-second timeout. Might as well keep it here in this playoff. And so just talking about some of the themes developing in this second quarter. For the Halifax Hornets, rough start the first 5 minutes. They have not scored a point. They were held at 6 in the first quarter, and you looked like maybe the Thunder are really going to get carried away with this. But down the stretch, had some contributions from Caitlin Power along with Jemiah Thomas, and Sasha Dabb started to get the offensive firepower going, and they have scored 11 points in this second quarter. Meanwhile, for the Thunder, they've slowed down a little bit. They have still leading it by 20, which you're still going to be happy with your Thunder, but they have to be careful because the Hornets, even though they're down double figures, they can get a few more possessions positive with 1:46 left in the second quarter. That might be the momentum they need heading into the second half to try and turn the tides around for them. Full court press look defensively for the Thunder. And that works out. As Helmig, it's a race. And that is good. Lauer had some easy open looks, and that was by far the toughest take she's taken all night, and that happens to go in. What a play. And Power trying to make a hand, trying to find Parent. Parent wasn't quite ready for it, has to race down the court. Lauer down to Helmig. Helmig to Saunders. Yeah, it's just missed by Atkinson. And what a steal. You saw Saunders read that the entirety of the way, able to come in with a hand on it. And the Thunder have just been dominating defensively. It's one of the reasons they've had leave so many transition buckets, and also the rebounding effort has been huge. Saunders had a lot of space there, decides to drive and take a jumper slash runner of a shot that does not go. And there is another steal from this Thunder defense. They have been anaconda-like, just squeezing the life out of any team they play defensively, and this has just been tough. And then Evans now stretching the floor with a three. That is 5 3-pointers made by the Thunder. And Evans, that's not the first time she's taken a shot from that distance, too, or faked it like she was going to go for it. And everything just working as it's a 42-17 lead for the Thunder with 2.7 seconds left. As Bianca Helmig able to get a foot on it, it'll still stay with the Hornets. as that ball's going to go all the way down near the exit sign. Listen, sometimes you got to get extra cardio in, as Collins has to go track it down. The assistant coach, Sophia Widmeyer, trying to cheer on her team. Francois just has to throw it up right before. Does not go, and that concludes this first half of play for the Thunder and the Hornets. And we'll do a little quick recap of the first half, take a break, and bring you back with second half action of this playoff matchup in the MWBA. So that first quarter really was all the Thunder. They got a 23-6 lead. You had Alina McMillan playing well in that first quarter, had 7 points, and really has been doing it all. And for the second quarter, it was a lot of the Thunder. They got a lot of turnovers and steals, and for the most part, through that first 5 minutes of play, they held the Hornets scoreless. But for the Hornets, they were able to get some contributions down low inside the paint from players like Dab as well as Power and Thomas contributing down the stretch. So it was needed. And so we will take a break, but that was some of the contributions. But again, the Thunder down the stretch, even when it was, now at one point, could have maybe been a 13, 10-point game if a couple possessions went the Hornets' way, but not the case. So that is all we have here for the first half. Please do not go anywhere. We still have second half to play, as even though it will be tough for the Hornets to come back, you never say never in basketball, as this is a competitive league, and it can be a totally different half. So make sure to stay tuned from that. We'll take a break, bring you back with more coverage of the event in just a moment.
right, here now with Nevaeh O'Connell of the Halifax Hornets. Nevaeh, you find yourselves down to a very good Thunder team at the half. What's one thing the team needs to do to improve in the second half?
Yeah, I think we just understand, like, they have a very talented team, and so do we, but, I mean, it's playoffs. Like, every game, this could be our last, and we just need to play for each other and right to the end, like, own every 50-50 ball and just work hard, honestly.
I know we talked a little bit earlier in the season, but I think you've gotten increased minutes, getting the start today. What can you say about your confidence level playing in this league and how it's grown over the last month?
Yeah, I think it's a very, great opportunity. I'm blessed to have it. Not everybody does get to have this chance, but I think it's a good opportunity to build my confidence, coming off of my first year, and getting to put my work in game situations and work on those pieces of my game against really good defenders. So I think it's a great opportunity for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Nevaeh. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with a player from the Thunder. Back now with Alexis Evans of the Halifax Thunder. Alexis, I mean, you're up 25 points right now at the half, but I thought that was a dominant first half defensive performance. What can you say about the team's defense in that first half, and what's the key to holding on to this lead?
I think it was just a lot of ball pressure. If we maintain ball pressure throughout the second half, we should be able to maintain the lead. That's, at the end of the day, that's all it is. Pretty
cool to see you hit a three, and I mean, I don't know, are you trying some different elements of your game in this summer league experience, hoping to take that to Mount Royal next season?
Absolutely. I mean, I've shot a couple threes earlier. Oh, watch ball. And they haven't been landing, but I thought, why not today? No better time than the present.
All right, who do you want to shout out?
Jamie, happy grad, Jamie.
Happy grad, Jamie?
Yeah.
All right, good luck in the second half. Thanks for doing this. Sending it back up now to Connor McKinnon for the second half of MWBA playoff action right here on Maritime Athletic Profiles.
And welcome back here, folks. Less than a minute ago at halftime as we transition to the third quarter. As you see the score on the board, or the score bug to be exact, it is a 42-17 lead in favor of the Halifax Thunder. They're looking to cruise their way into a semifinal matchup, which should be a good one, but for the Hornets, they're down and not out. Should give a shout out to Alan April for doing some of the sideline reporting duties for us. Was able to interview Nevaeh O'Connell, as well as Alexis Evans, who had a strong end of that second quarter, finishing with a team-high 11 points. And meanwhile, for O'Connell, has 3, and leading the team in points for the Hornets is none other than Caitlin Power. So there's a lot that has to happen for the Halifax Hornets to put themselves in a position to compete in the fourth quarter. It is possible, but the Halifax Thunder have looked every part as a 2-time defending champion, and the 24 last year and the 2 years before that. They have a lot of returners from a year ago, including 8 new people, which includes Aaliyah Frazier. And they've looked very, very strong as they've, down the stretch in the regular season before they have this playoff game, beat some very tough quality opponents with the return of the line of McMillan. But we'll see what this half of basketball has in store for us. Collins down to Piercy. Piercy with the crossover, takes the screen. And the runner goes, Samantha Minieri. That is a good sign for the Hornets right to start the third quarter, open up with points. It was a struggle those first 2. That's a nice momentum starter, potentially. There's a bounce pass over to Sammy Russell. Russell, too much. See what the coaching staff for the Hornets have in store, what adjustments they'll make to go against this defense. Here's a screen, pass inside, and there is a miss from Minieri. Took the first 2 shots. Russell lost a hand on it, and turnover goes in favor of the Hornets. And there's a good shot from Collins. And Collins starting to get it going. Did not make a shot from the floor. That is the first points from the floor. And Alina McMillan responds right back with 2. Now with 11 points, enter double figure. The second Thunder player with 10 or more points. Oxner with it. As Piercy cuts, takes the screen. A good screen and roll, and that's an and one opportunity for Maddie Hiscock. As Hiscock, this is the first and one opportunity we have seen all game long. And they'll get it back to only a 20-point deficit if they make the free throw. Can't. So it does not go for Hiscock to complete the and one opportunity. McMillan to Duffy. Duffy, good first half. A lot of movement. Got a few points as well. McMillan finds a pass to Russell. Russell made one earlier, makes a second one. Connects perfect from 3 with 8 points now. They have made 6. Shooting pretty well from that distance to 37.5%. Here's a shot from Piercy. And that's just missed. And there's a left-handed make from Sophie Atkinson. And it seems right when the Hornets start to figure out, the Thunder go, well, we can still score 2. As that's a monster block and almost followed up, but what a play. And then what a finish, too. The persistence from Minieri. 4 points in this quarter. Again, Duffy with the block, and here's Russell lining it up, and that's back-to-back triples for Sammy Russell. Perfect 3 from distance. Wow. 3 Thunder players with 11 points. And they are up 52-25, a 27-point lead for the Halifax Thunder. as they're listed the home team, and they are absolutely delivering. Collins throws up a shot. That goes, not a 3, but a 2. And there's a turnover, as this has been a bit of a light show from both teams. Which you wouldn't have said that after the first 2 quarters, and Atkinson with the steal, pass up ahead to Lauer. Russell on the opposite side, and Lauer is going to take it all the way, does get fouled by Oxner. This will be the 9th and 10th free throws for the Thunder, as Helmig and Saunders will check in.
Checking in for the Hornets, everybody. Melina Collins, Caleb Bauer, Jasmine Barrett, Anna Parsons, and Adele O'Connell. Haley Lawler makes both from the line. And checking in for the Thunder, Bianca Helmig and Sandy Saunders.
And a turnover that goes out of bounds. A behind the back move from Helmig. Gets out the corner to Saunders, just come up short. And a turnover still stays with the Thunder.
For the Hornets, number 9, Lily Francois.
Parent down low, misses a shot, gets it right back, puts it back up, and that rattles home for Parent. First points for Parent tonight. McMillan goes all the way through. What a find for Russell, and Russell missed a wide open layup, and sometimes it just happens that way. Sometimes the most open shots are the most difficult. As O'Connell turns it over, and McMillan already up the court. That's several times. She is so good in transition to be able to already run and be ahead of the pack. And there's a turnover. Back to Saunders, to McMillan. McMillan fires. Off the rim, rebounded by Power. O'Connell pulls the trigger and just loses, and Parent follows up with 2, so Parent showing up here big. McMillan open once more. He can't give her that much distance, and thankfully that just rolls out if you're the Hornets. Power, not much space there. Does throw up a runner. I think she was surprised by how open she was and said, I guess I have to throw up a shot because I'm this open, and might have rushed it. Russell there, fires. Tad shy. First miss from that distance too. O'Connell getting trapped, and that's stolen by Helmig. 2 for 1, O'Connell back. Helmig, nice pass and fine for McMillan, and too easy. And Bianca Helmig, known for her passing, her defensive prowess as well, stealing the ball, getting into the passing lanes. His parent loses it. Russell might have gotten a piece of it, and here come the Thunder racing down the track. It's been all so much a track meet for the Thunder as a lot of their buckets have been in transition, and there is a substitution for both teams.
For the Thunder, number 13, Aaliyah Frazier, number 15, Alexis Evans, and number 23, Jewel Wolfett. And for the Hornets, number 8, Melina Collins, number 7, Sasha Dabb, and number 21, Maddie Hiscock.
And Helmig takes a shot, and another chance. Evans with it, the star of that first half. And here's a open shot for Wolfett, just a tad bit short. And there's Aaliyah Frazier. This has been the Thunder mentality. Just put your head down and run. Others will be there. Helmig finds Saunders. Saunders juggled a little bit. Thought she was going to shoot it. Just didn't get it in the right pocket. Frazier. Evans drives. Pad goes past two defenders. No foul call. 5 seconds, but there will be a reach in. Francois picking up the foul.
Hornets foul charged to number 9, Lily Francois. That's her first personal, second team foul. Sammy Manieri and Amanda Piercy checking in for the Hornets.
Evans to Frazier. Frazier open. And no, Evans follows it up. Oh, what physical play from Evans.
Alexis Evans.
Has been an absolute stud here tonight. One of the driving forces of why they will have a chance to reach the semifinal here in the MWBA will be because of her efforts. Oh, and what a shot from Manieri. That's 6 points, all coming in this third quarter from Manieri. She opened up the third quarter with points, and that's the second and one opportunity for this Hornets team. And that rolls out. Saunders with it, the foul called.
Hornets foul on number 7, Sasha Dabb. That's her second personal, third team foul.
As Dabb picks up a foul. And what a shot from Saunders, the second one for Saunders. 8 3-pointers made. 30-point lead now for the Thunder. As there's Frazier, gets a steal off the foot of Piercy. Bounce pass. Frazier gets it right back and just misses. First few shots, all have been behind the three-point line for Frazier. Has not taken very many in the playing time that she has gotten. Less than a minute to go in the third quarter. What a move from Collins. Got reaching right back down to Manieri. And Manieri, what a third quarter for Manieri. 8 points now for Manieri, which leads the Hornets in points now. Helmig, good find. Saunders just misses Evans. Who else just missed it, though? And a foul.
Under foul on number 23, Jewel Wolfett. That's her
Jewel Wolfett will pick up the foul. And more chance to go to the free throw line.
fourth team foul.
Piercy trying to direct traffic to try to find Manieri. Piercy was trying to throw a line drive runner into the hoop and rattles out. Not much time left, but a foul against Minieri, and Helmeg always pushing the pace. 3.5 seconds left in the third quarter. And a Thunder take a timeout, leaves us a chance to talk about the sponsors. Cushman and Wakefield Atlantic Canada's leader in commercial real estate. And Support for Sport is proud to be a team partner of Halifax Thunder since 2006. Support for Sport has raised over $50 million to help Nova Scotians get in the game. For more information, please visit supportforsport.ca. We'd also like to say the MWBA would like to thank lead founding partner Royale. Royale is a proud supporter of the MWBA and proudly Atlantic Canadian. And it's been third quarter where a little bit more of a momentum swing in favor of the Hornets, but it's the story of it's too little, too late, and they have a fourth quarter that is coming up here as there's 3.5 seconds left in this third as they'll try to, the Thunder will set up a set play before we wrap it up. Looking to try to find Frazier, and Dad picks it up. Frazier has a chance to throw it up. Trying to go bank, does not go for Aaliyah Frazier. So after 3 quarters of play, you have the Thunder leading up 63-35 and still have one more quarter to go, but it's been all Thunder and hard to see if that will change in the fourth quarter. But for the positives, you can see that the Hornets had one of their best quarters. They scored 18 points, which was their best, and they'll need a lot more in defensive stops. But so far, the Thunder, everything has gone well, and you have multiple players in double figures, and McMillan, Russell, and Evans, they just have been dominant, shooting well from the free throw line, 90%. Meanwhile, Hornets only shooting 33.3%, and that's really been the story, not so much the free throw shooting, but defensively, the Thunder have brought it. They've caused a lot of turnovers, and it's really taken the Hornets out of their game plan offensively. And when you turn the ball over, in any type of sport, turnovers will kill you. As that will conclude this third quarter wrap-up, we'll take a little bit of a quick break. Have less than 2 minutes to go before we start this fourth and final corner. But don't go anywhere, folks. It's a good one here. And welcome back here, folks. Connor McKinnon giving you play-by-play action, and a quick shout before we start this fourth quarter to Maritime Athletic Profiles. Of course, they are so fundamental in what goes on with the MWBA, covering all these events that have started here all the way back in May, now June, and starting to get closer to the finals as we are in full playoff mode for Maritime Women's Basketball Association as Lauer lines it up and can't tune it. And we'll see what happens here for the Hornets as they still have a few of their key players that started back in all this first quarter. They'll try to cut into this 28-point lead in favor of the Thunder. Be a tough mountain to climb. And there is a handoff back to Piercy. Piercy trying to get the screen from Minieri. Here comes the help defense and the double team that leaves Dab open. And Dab, the trajectory was right, but just too flat-lined. And Lauer has been aggressive, but just hasn't been able to get a shot. They've only made one shot. It has made both free throws, so sitting at 4 points. Down low, in the post, down to Collins. That's a violation.
Shot clock violation. Thunder ball.
Thunder basketball. Still a scoreless quarter. No team has been able to get points yet. There's a steal. Might have a chance here with Collins. Driving past Frazier and gets 2. 7 points now for Malia Collins. Lauer with it. Frazier driving on Dab. Back to Evans. Evans been effective. Tries to go and throws up a rush shot against Manieri. And there's a almost just got the shot off, but not able to get that to go. Oh, that leaves Evans wide open. Made one earlier. Gets that to go. Alexis Evans, a perfect 2 from 2. That time the top of the 3 key works. 9 3-pointers made by this Thunder team. They have been feeling it. And Collins picks up the reach-in foul.
Hornets foul on number 8, Melina Collins, her first personal first-team foul. We had a bunch of subs, too.
And there is a shot that is made from Hannah Smith for 3. The first shot and the first make for Smith all day. And wow, that's a deep shot from Oxner. It's the second only made 3-pointer. The other one coming from O'Connell, but wow, Oxner, what a shot. And that just comes up short for Nunes Sabien.
Out of bounds, Hornets ball.
Hornets basketball.
The Hornets, number 15, Jasmine.
Still a 29-point lead in favor of the Thunder as Parent comes in. Parent, remember back in that third quarter, had a few baskets. Again, top 10 in all-time scoring in MWBA history. He's played the most games all-time out of any MWBA player in their 4th season of this birth in existence. As Frazier tips it out away from Parent. And there's a shot from Power. There is Frazier, and there's a shot that goes off the rim. And they keep it for another chance. As that's just off. Still stays with the Thunder. Third chance. And goes out of bounds as Nunes Sabien said, no, it didn't. But the ref disagrees. And Russell McMillan checking back in. There's a kick out and bank for Francois. I don't think she counted on that happening, but now you have 2 3-pointers in this fourth quarter alone for the Hornets when they only scored 1 in the first 3. Looking up a little bit as they start to try to get some momentum just to finish this game strong. And there's McMillan, who continues to keep on fighting no matter what the score is. Physical play as Russell right behind to finish for her teammate. Already halfway through the fourth quarter, the Thunder this much closer to moving on to the next round. As whoever wins this will go to the Richard J. Curry Center in Fredericton, play in the semifinal, and the Thunder looking to do that here. As it goes out of bounds, still stays with the Hornets.
Hornets ball, 4 on the shot clock.
There's a shot, goes off rim as Parent misses. A shot from Sammy Russell. That is 4 3-pointers made by Sammy Russell, 16 points. Francois responds with a 3. Her second one. Only player to hit 2. Saunders just missed. And followed up by Sammy Russell for 2. She has been unstoppable, 18 points. Already up 76-48, trying to get back up to a 30-point as Francois counted. What a quarter Francois is having.
Francois under foul to number 7, Alana McMillan. That's her second personal. First team foul. Francois on the line to convert the 3-point play.
And Francois gets that one to go. And there's a foul from Power. Will go to the free throw line. Saunders will pick up the foul. And the Thunder timeout will give us a chance to pay those bills, talk about some of the sponsors. As a National Health Solutions partner, MWBA is proud to help the MWBA Athletics achieve their hoops dream. Best wishes for a successful season on and off the court. And again, Support for Sport has been a proud team partner of Halifax Thunder since 2006 and the Halifax Hornets. Support for Sport has raised over $50 million to help Nova Scotians get in the game. For more information, please visit supportforsport.ca. And so far, folks, if you're tuning in, it's the fourth quarter. The score pretty much tells most of the story. Halifax Thunder had a tremendous start the first quarter, leading at 23-6. And ever since that point, you've seen the Hornets have moments where they're able to score, where you see people like Caitlin Power, Jemiah Thomas, Sasha Dabb, and then this quarter, Lily Francois. But as we said it before, they just never really got off to the strong enough start that they would have needed to compete against a Halifax Thunder team that is trying to go for the Triple Crown, trying to go for that third straight title in this MWBA conference. And they will have to play the likes of the Miramichi Hurricanes or potentially Lake City 56ers in the coming rest of the playoffs. But this is, you got to be happy if you're the Thunder coaching staff and the players, as it does not go for power. And a lane violation that allows Power to take another stab at that second free throw. And gets that to go.
Checking in for the Thunder, number 15, Alexis Evans, number 20.
Evans, Wolfett, Helmig, and Smith.
They still have 7 players on the court.
It's Nunes Sabien is there's a couple of jokes from Alan April, our PA announcer, saying there's 7 players on the court. There needs to be 5. I mean, the way the Thunder have been playing, though, does feel like they've had 6 or 7 people on the court, to be fair. So, defensively, it has been quite the show from the Thunder. And there's a drive and finish for Alexis Evans. Continuing to stay hot, Alexis Evans. Power trying to find O'Connell, but Helmig right there for the steal. She has gotten at least, I want to say, 4 or 5 steals. I have not counted them. I've been keeping track of the points and makes and free throws, not so much the steals, but it has been a really good outing for Bianca Helmig defensively. It's just been a terror to try to get anything past her. And we're already less than 2 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. The Halifax Thunder picking up their first playoff win. Helmig loses track of it. And Hiscock trying to find Thomas. Stolen away, and Helmig, after losing it, gets it right back for 2. And Evans diving to the floor. No one hurt. Everyone looks all good. Good sportsmanship.
Intentional foul charged to number 21, Maddie Hiscock. 2 shots and the ball.
Alexis Evans, third time to the free throw line, has been perfect so far. We'll see if I give the good old announcers jinx or if she can complete it. Gets the 5th one to go.
Evans makes both for the Thunder.
Drive from Helmig off the rim. Got less than a minute to go. Back up again, 30-point lead. It's been multiple different times for the Thunder. As you can see, Helmig took a look at the game clock real quickly. Just going to have to throw up a shot. I don't know if it got up before the shot clock violation. They have to stop it and take it out of bounds.
Shot clock violation. Hornets ball.
And a good find. The parent just missed it, gets her own miss, has a chance, and can't get either of them to go. And the Thunder will hold for it, and that will do it. What a playoff performance from the Halifax Thunder as they will move on and take their talents down to the Cup semifinal, the Proline Legacy semifinal, as they will head all the way down to Fredericton to play in the Richard J. Curry Center, trying to go for their third straight title as they are the defending back-to-back champs and trying to put a stamp on it for the 2025. Let's give a quick recap of this before we conclude things and send it off to Alan April to do some post-game interviews for us. Just talking about this game in its entirety, it was, again, all Halifax Thunder from the start. They had control from the very tip, and it was very difficult for the Hornets to get any type of offensive going. And for the Hornets, their offense didn't really pick up till that third and fourth quarter. And by that point, the Thunder created so many turnovers, got steals, blocks, offensive transition buckets, everything going their way. And it really is just a battle of what the Thunder will do. And they have a tough test ahead of them. They'll have to probably play someone like the Miramichi Hurricanes that they beat earlier, or Lake City 56ers. So they do have a tough battle in this playoff. But listen, it's all about win or you go home. They get the win here, and they are moving on, most importantly. So we do have Alan April trying to grab someone, so we will get post-game interviews shortly. But for myself, Connor McKinnon, I will be signing it off and sending it down to Alan April to do some interviews with the players. And we should be back with more coverage, as make sure to stay tuned as we give a shout to Maritime Athletic Profiles for everything they do, the camera crew, our producers, our sideline reporter. They've done so much for this event, and they will continue to do so as they move and to go all the way to take this to Fredericton to finish up the rest of this playoff action for Maritime Women's Basketball Association. So again, from that being said, stay tuned. We still have more post-game coverage, and we'll be back with more coverage of this post-game shortly.
The Thunder have punched their ticket to the Legacy Cup playoffs with a convincing win over the Halifax Hornets, joined now by player of the game, Alexis Evans. Alexis, I told you scored 20 points today. You seem pretty excited. How good does it feel to finish off the home portion of your season with this big win, and for yourself personally to drop 20?
It feels great. I mean, dropping 20 is fun for me, but it wouldn't be as fun without the whole team. Like, everyone contributed. That's not just me. Like, there's assists. There's so much more to the game than just 20 points for one player. So, big shout out to the girls. That's just happy to be here, honestly. I'm pretty pumped to go to Fredericton.
Absolutely. Kira, 1 second here. Yeah. I just want you, Alexis is really humble, but she scored 20 points today. The rookie of the team, you're one of the vets. I want to ask a little bit about Alexis and what she's brought to the team this year.
Her energy, like, we have this joke when I ask her how she's doing, she always goes, phenomenal. Like, her energy is just the best, and she just brings so much of that to our team, and I'm just so blessed to get to know you, Lex, and it's just so much fun. Like, she's the superstar.
All right, I'll get back to Alexis 1 sec. You're going for the three-peat, though. What can Fredericton and the Legacy Cup expect to see from the Thunder? You know, it wasn't an undefeated regular season again, but how ready is this team heading into next weekend?
I think we're ready. We're building. We're cohesive as a group. Like, we have kind of our goals, and I feel like that adversity not kind of being undefeated this season, I feel like that's made us so much stronger and more connected, and I feel like we're like ready to go. We're having so much fun, and yeah, what do you think?
I'm pumped. I think we've gotten over like our first little scratches at the beginning of the season. Now we're just pumped and ready to go. Like,
Yeah.
bring it.
Cool. All right, you're good, Kira. I got one more for Alexis. We've talked a couple times in the last few weeks, but I want to ask you again, like, what has this league meant for your confidence and your development as a player heading into the rest of your university career, do you think?
I think it's really built my confidence as a player. It's kind of given me the opportunity to find my game and like play without the stress of university on top of it. So it's just kind of stress-free basketball, which is kind of what I missed.
And I know you told me you have family originally from the East Coast, but what's your impression of the basketball community out here in Atlantic Canada?
Oh, it's super cool. The basketball side, it's pretty similar to out west, but just everyone's buddies. Like, there's no real like animosity towards anyone. Like, all friends, like friendly competition.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, you excited for this weekend for Edgerton?
Oh yeah. Let's
stuff.
go.
All right, Alexis Evans and the Thunder will be playing for the Proline Stadium Legacy Cup next weekend in Fredericton, New Brunswick. Get out there if you can or watch the action live right here on Maritime Athletic Profiles YouTube. For myself, Alan April, thank you, Alexis, producer Dylan, and the whole Maritime Athletic Profiles team. Thanks for watching live coverage of Thunder basketball and the MWBA all season long, and we'll see you next season back here in Nova Scotia. Have a good night.